If you spend your Sunday evening worrying about work the next day, you need to watch this video. I'm going to give you practical tools to be able to overcome that Monday morning fatigue, or should I say Sunday evening dread. I'm Nikita and I simplify your journey by sharing my journey. I combine spirituality with practicality. So grab your notebook, let's get started. It's Sunday evening, you've done what you can for the weekend, perhaps you've done your housework, your chores, you've met up with friends, and here you are sitting on the sofa, dreading going into work the next day. I know this feeling all too well, but I was able to not only reframe it, but actually change my circumstances, and I'm going to teach you how. So, the first thing to identify is if you're really feeling dread. And when I say dread, I mean that uncomfortable feeling, the knot in your stomach, perhaps the restlessness in your chest, that feeling of contraction in the body. This is your higher self. You'll often hear me talk about lower self and higher self. So if you haven't yet watched my other videos, it's probably a good idea to do that. But this is your higher self giving you a gentle nudge. Now, it might start off as gentle, but as time goes by, it might become more and more prominent. And what is this nudge trying to tell you? Well, I believe in my experience of working with various clients across the board, particularly high achieving professionals, this is your higher self advising you, nudging you, telling you that you are not in alignment with your true calling. What do I mean by that? I believe that each one of us is on earth for a reason. Now that means that we're here to contribute our unique gifts. Each one of us is unique. We have perhaps similarities, but the combination of skills that each one of us has is unique to us, because it's not only based on the skills that we've learned through training courses, it's also based on our natural talents, and most importantly, based on our experiences. So there's nobody else in the world that's lived your life. There's nobody that will be able to tell your story. So even if, for example, you've been through a divorce, you might be thinking, well, so many people have been through a divorce, but the exact experience or the exact scenario, if you like, can never be the same. Everybody's situation is unique. So what I believe is that each one of us has a calling, which is to amalgamate all of our skills, talents and experiences together. So when we show up from a place of authenticity. You'll hear about these people that create products or services, and they've got a founder story. They've got something which has led them to doing what they're doing. Perhaps they've been through a particular thing in life and now they're teaching other people to do that. That's the case in my example. I said at the beginning, I help people transition from karma to dharma. That's what I do. And the reason I do it is because I myself have been on this journey where I have transitioned. So the first thing I want you to note down is if you are feeling uncomfortable, restless, anxious about going to work on a Monday morning, if you are in a 9-to-5 job and you're thinking, I just can't do it, I just cannot bear to perhaps commute or sit at my desk or maybe see my work colleagues, or maybe you've got a confrontational boss, whatever it is that's making you feel that way, remember it's a message, it's a sign, if you like, from your higher self telling you that this is not in alignment, this is not the path that you're supposed to be on. And then your logical part of the brain, which is your lower self, is going to answer back and say, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I've got to pay the bills. I've got to go to this job. The job market is not very good at the moment. I can't just think about leaving. And that's when this dialogue starts between the lower mind and the higher mind. And that's why we often call it a battle. You know, we in so many religions, they talk about the battle of the minds, and that's exactly what this is. It's this dilemma, if you like. But the thing to remember is that if you are receiving this nudge from your higher self, then it means that there is a possibility. That's the second thing to note. So the first thing to note was that the nudge itself, the discomfort, the feeling, the contraction, is your higher self telling you that this is not in alignment. The second thing I'd like you to note is that if you are receiving this, it's because there's a possibility for you. You wouldn't even have this feeling if it wasn't meant for you, you know? The same goes for desires. Like when I had a desire to publish a book, I was in this dilemma. I was in this battle. My higher mind was like, you're supposed to publish a book. And my lower self was saying, me, why would I publish a book? I'm no good. I'm not a, writer. I've not done a degree in English literature. And there was this whole dialogue, dilemma, battle going on. And actually, it's only when I followed my calling that I was able to actually pursue it. And now I have my book. I have it here actually, Meditation Through Poetry. This is my published book, which is available in shops and online all over the world. Now that wouldn't have happened if I had followed my lower self. And the reason that I was able to follow my higher self is because somebody said to me at that time, Nikita, you wouldn't even have this desire if it wasn't meant for you. And that's what I really want to convey to you today, but about your discomfort, about your restlessness. You wouldn't have it if it wasn't meant for you to be thinking about a new path. So just open your mind to that possibility that actually perhaps there is something else I'm meant to be doing. The third thing I would like you to know is that you don't have to work hard and hustle. Now that's going to perhaps sound like a foreign concept to many of you. You don't have to. When I say work hard, I mean overwork, overgive to the point of burnout. You don't have to do that in order to receive, your desired salary, the salary that you deserve. And again, your lower self might be questioning now, well, that's not possible. Everybody's got to work hard. Other people in my team are working hard. And what I want you to know is that when you operate from your calling, your purpose, it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy either, but there's this sense of balance. We were never meant to overgive or overwork or sell our soul. That's not what we were supposed to do as human beings. This is modern day. This is the culture that we find ourselves in, where it's normal to work 12, 14-hour days. But actually, that's not normal. That shouldn't be the norm. And so what I would like you to know, point number 3, is that this doesn't have to be the only way. There can be a way for you to contribute your skills, your talents, and your experiences, but not feel depleted at the end of every day and at the end of every week. So those are the 3 points that I'd like you to take away from today. I trust that just planting this seed in your mind is now going to help things to just naturally unfold. You might think, well, I don't have the answers. I'm still in the same job. I've still got the same feeling, and that's true. But hopefully these 3 points have helped you look at it from a different perception. And from my experience, when we shift our perception, what happens is we move and we rewire those neurons in the brain. And then we start to open up new opportunities. So the next time you look at your LinkedIn, for example, you might see a job which perhaps you wouldn't have seen had you not watched this video. So everything comes to you at the right time. That's another one of my beliefs, that you will always be sent the right resources and the right materials at the right time. It's just whether or not you are open enough to be able to absorb it and to follow the breadcrumbs. You know, I always say that life is like a trail. It's like, have you ever been on an Easter egg hunt and the goal is to find the Easter egg, and then you've got to go through all these different steps? That's what life's like. And so we've got to follow the signs. We've got to be able to pick up on the cues. And so this video is a cue for you. It's a sign saying, hold on a minute, maybe this isn't the right job for me. In fact, maybe this isn't even the right industry for me. Maybe I want a complete career change. And so just that thought itself is going to open up new doors for you. So I wish you all the very best. Please stay tuned to my videos. I'm going to be posting a lot more about corporate well-being, leadership in the workplace, and so on and so forth. If you know anybody who would benefit, please do forward this on to them. We really want to spread the message that we don't need to live a life of karma, which is conditioning, programming, obligation. We want to work towards living a life of dharma, which is truth, meaning and purpose. So please do spread the word by forwarding this video to anybody who you know who might benefit. Until next time, thank you.